it took me more than 10 hours to figure out this flow, and I hope I can teach it in about 10 minutes. So let's see. Hi, this is Jimmy from CreateUp and also Apollo Sales Community. Now, Apollo does a great job with showing, metrics and analytics when you are inside of the platform. However, this video is for those people who want to get data outside of Apollo, all the analytics, maybe in some other place like Google Sheets, Notion, Airtable, whatever you use. So to make this work, you need an Apollo API key, and you also need automation software like Make.com. You can use Zapier, you can use other tools out there to recreate this. But for my example, I'm pretty used to Make, so I'm gonna show it how to create one in Make.com. And for data entry, I'm gonna use Google Sheets. Obviously, you can use other tools that maybe better fit your workflow. So first thing first, you need to get your Apollo API key. So go to your Apollo account, and inside of settings, go to integrations, and scroll all the way down. You will find API key. And once you find this API page, go to API keys, and either it's going to show up there, or if you don't have one, just create a new one and copy your key. Once you grabbed your key from Apollo, inside of Make, you can create a new module. So just for example, I will create a new one here, and you can use Apollo. If it doesn't show up for you, just search Apollo. And what we are doing right now is making an API call. So not using any of these pre-made modules, but actually using the API call. And you will be prompted to create a connection first. Now, I already have a connection, so I'm not doing that. My connection is already established here. And this is the URL that I'm using specifically to pull up the campaign info. If you're not sure, which one to use, you can go to Apollo's API doc and find, a lot of different options of what kind of data you can pull, or how you can, manipulate data inside of Apollo, a lot of things that can be done through the API. But for this example, we just want to look for the sequences and output the report from the sequences. So here you go. Here's the URL we need. And as you can see here inside of Make, enter a path that is relative to apollo.io. So start with V1. So I started with V1 emailer campaigns. Method is always going to be get. Keep this as default. I think it's the same if you check the docs. And after that, we need to use an iterator. So at first, I really didn't know how to make it work, because I didn't really understand iterators that well. But I did a lot of digging, and I found a way to make it work. So if we run this, it's connected to my account. Yeah, and I'll stop it immediately. You'll see the output that we get. So the output is one big output, one big bundle here, and you get the campaigns inside of an array, and each campaign is one collection. Now, because we only get one output that contains all of the sequences, we can't immediately enter all the data at once. So that's why we need to use this iterator to make sure it goes through them one by one. So you get this output here, as I said, with all the bundles, and you want to create this iterator flow control and map the email campaign. So if you just type here, emailer.campaign. Yeah. and you can select this array. So make sure you select the emailer campaigns array, click save. And then after that, because every API, not only Apollo, but every single API has some kind of limits where you can only call the API a certain number of times in a minute, in an hour, or in a day. It's important to have a delay between your API calls. So I just added like 1 second delay just to make sure we don't hit the limit when we do the report. And after that, you just add the Google Sheet module, which is pretty simple to set up. If you go to Google Sheets, in this case, we are using add a row because we are adding new rows where each row is going to represent one sequence. You need to create, of course, a connection with your Google account, select where you want the data to land. Yeah, here's my my settings. So I'm landing all the data into this Google Sheet that is called Apollo Reporting Data Video. We need to select exactly the sheet name. So this is sheet 1. Does the table contain headers? No. The column range is A to Z. I don't want to map 1,000 different fields. And I'm only taking the data that I need. So if you want to use this, feel free to change it up, and maybe you don't need the same data points that I'm using. You can include anything you want. All right, so this is the sheet that we have connected. As you can see right now, it's empty, nothing in here. We stopped the flow, so nothing got written yet. So what we actually need to do next is map out the fields inside of Make. So the iterator gives you the output. You want, again, you want the iterator's output, not the first one from Apollo API. It's just, copy pasting the data, so it's all the same. So you want to take output from the iterator and map to different fields. So I'm using the sequence name, sequence ID, the date, because I want to know when report was generated, how many are scheduled, how many are delivered, how many emails got a reply, how many unsubscribed, how many bounces, what is the reply rate, what's the spam rate, is the campaign active, and I also added execution ID, which is a make.com thing, just gives an ID of when the flow was ran. All right, so let's save this, save the entire flow, and let's let it run, and we'll also check if the results are being generated. So let's go to the reporting. Here you go. You can see that it's writing all the campaigns. So it wrote the 4 campaigns that I have on this test environment. You can see I only sent like 34 emails. Now my table doesn't have headers here, but you can make the headers just follow how you mapped things out here. So the first one is name, ID, scheduled, and so on. So I would just go like this: name, ID, this is time, scheduled, and so on. You can create your table like this. And the cool thing is that we can automate this, so we don't have to go into Make and click run every time we want to report. So we can just schedule it. So I will save this, and you can schedule this to run the scenario maybe once a week, day of the week, and let's choose Monday, and let's say at 4 p.m. Every Monday at 4 p.m. our scenario is now active. So every Monday at 4 p.m. it's going to pull all the data and write it into that sheet that we just created. So I'm pretty close to the 10-minute mark, so pretty happy about that. And I hope you found this useful. I will export the make.com blueprint and put it somewhere in the description or comments, so you can also download the blueprint and upload the blueprint to your make.com, and it's going to show you the same scenario that I just showed in the video. As I said, you just need to have your Apollo API, make the connection between make.com and Apollo, and make the connection with Google so you can put the data from Apollo inside of Google Sheets. So thanks for watching, and I see you in the next one. Bye.